Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Am I audible and visible? Somebody please ping me. Kotapuri, good afternoon. Himvarsha, good afternoon. Am I audible and visible? Somebody please ping me so that I can begin with today's session. Thank you, Himvarsha. So, hello everyone. Hi, this is Alokojha. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. We are going through the MCQ series, and by now we have covered diversified topics of ancient Indian history, such as prehistoric culture, followed by Indus Valley civilization, Vedic civilization, and Mahajanpads. Today we are going to discuss about another important topic related to ancient Indian history, and that is Buddhism. Buddhism and Jainism are favorite topics of UPSC, specifically related to the prelims examination. And here there have been more number of questions precisely related to the terminologies. So please, what we say, try to answer the questions. Apart from answering the question, please listen to the discussions properly. Because if you listen to the discussions properly, 100% you'll be able to solve the forthcoming questions. Is that clear? And in the end, I'll be talking about what important facets and what important topics needs to be focused precisely from Buddhism. Is that clear? Okay. Yes, Ammakutti, good afternoon. So guys, without wasting any more time, let's begin our today's session because we have to solve approximately around 35 to 40 questions today. Okay, so let's begin our today's important session on Buddhism. First question. Which one of the following inscriptions of Ashoka confirms the tradition that Gautam Buddha was born in Lumbini? Yes. Basar pillar inscription, Nigali Sagal pillar inscription, Ramapurva pillar inscription, or Ruminde pillar inscription. Okay, we have discussed about this in yesterday's session. Yes, please. Okay, Himvarsha goes for D. What about the others? Yes, guys. We have discussed about this yesterday itself. Okay. Nitesh Ji, you go for D. Okay, perfect. The answer for this question is Ruminde pillar edict or Ruminde pillar inscription. Perfect answer. Now, let me give you a brief introduction about Ashoka. Like, the Mauryan dynasty was founded by Chandragupta Maurya, and Chandragupta Maurya was succeeded by his son Bindusar. Bindusar is oftenly referred as Amitraghat or Antriochates. And Amitraghat or Antriochates was being succeeded by his son Ashoka. Okay? Like, it is said that Battle of Kaling, which was fought in 261 BC, drastically changed Ashoka's life. Okay? And Ashoka is referred by different names. Precisely speaking, he is also referred as Devanama Piyadasi, that is beloved of gods. He is referred as Priyadarshini, that is the most beautiful one. He is referred as Chand Ashok, that is Ashoka the fiercest. Okay? And it is believed that in the Battle of Kaling, more than 1,50,000 persons were being killed. Okay? And specifically, more than 1 lakh persons were being killed and more than 1,50,000 were made as prisoners of war. When Ashoka saw himself, he was completely anointed from head to toe in blood. When he saw the battlefield, it was completely reddish in color. Immediately, he laid down his weapons and said, if this is the way to win over the people, I don't want to be a Chakravartin. Chakravartin basically means ruler of 4 directions. It is not necessary that we can win over the people by war, that is Bheri Ghosh. We can also win over the people by love and peace, that is Dhamma Ghosh. And Ashoka embraced Buddhism. It is believed that Ashoka has visited Lumbini and made Lumbini, certain part of Lumbini, as tax-free. Why? To commemorate the birth of Buddha. And this finds mention in Ruminde pillar inscription or Ruminde pillar edict. Hope so the point is clear. Let's move ahead with the next one. Please keep on listening to the discussions properly. Gautam Buddha attained Mahaparinirvan in the kingdom of. Okay. The kingdom is, it's not Ong, it's Ang, Magad, Mal, or Vatsa Mahajanpad? Yes. First of all, what is Mahaparinirvan all about? Yes, guys? Himvarsha goes for C. What about the others? Yes. Vipul also goes for C. Dr. Akhil goes for D. That is Vatsa Mahajanpad. Yes, Himvarsha. This is nothing but death of Gautam Buddha. See, as in the start of the session itself, I've told you that here usually there are questions based on terminologies. Okay, so few terminologies are important. One is Nirvana. All of them have been asked in the UPSC prelims examination. Okay, yes, perfect. Nitesh Durg. Okay, Nitesh Dugar. Very good, Dr. Akhil. Now just listen to me properly. Nirvana, then four important sites. Apart from Nirvana, four important sites, there are other things or other terminologies such as Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. Then what is Dharma Chakra Parivartan? All these terminologies are important from exam perspective. Tathagat, Buddhist Sangh. Okay, all these terminologies, all these concepts are very, very important from the exam perspective, and UPSC has directly asked a question on this. Answer to this question is Malla Mahajanpad. Okay, now just listen to me for the next 2 to 3 minutes. All your concepts would get clear. Okay, Buddha's original name was Siddharth. He was born at a place called as Lumbini in Nepal. His father's name was Shuddhodhan. His mother's name was Mahamaya. Like the birth of Buddha is celebrated as Buddha Purnima in India and as Vesaka in Southeast Asian countries. Immediately after his birth, specifically 7 days after his birth, his mother Mahamaya passed away. And he was being raised up by his aunt, whose name was Prajapati Gautami. Buddha never knew, or Siddharth never knew, what is dukh, pain and suffering in his life. It is believed that at the very young age of 16, he was married to Yashodhara, his wife, and after some time he had a son named as Rahula. At the age of 29, once upon a time, he was driving down the town, and four things that he observed drastically changed his life. First one was an old man bent with age. Second one, a sick man groaning with pain. Third one, a corpse or a dead body. And finally, the fourth one, that is an ascetic or a sannyasi. And he was very much fascinated towards that sannyasi. When there is so much of dukh, pain and suffering in this world, how come he's so calm, cool and composed? And at the age of 29, he decides to renounce his worldly life. And this process in the history of Buddhism is referred as Mahabhinishkraman. So what is Mahabhinishkraman? The process of renunciation. Four important sites we have discovered. After renouncing his worldly life, the first place he visits was Rajgriha. Here he meets the ruler Bimbisar. Then he visits another place, Vaishali. And here he meets two spiritual teachers. Please remember their name. From the exam perspective, they are very important. At Vaishali, he meets two spiritual teachers, Alara Kalam and Udak. And he learns the practice of meditation or meditative practices from them. Then, at the age of 35, he reaches a place called as Gaya. And he penanced his body a lot. As soon as he reached a place called as Gaya, he fell on the banks of river Niranjana or Falgu. And a farmer's daughter, she was passing by. Her name was Sujata. She offered Siddharth rice milk for the first time. And after consuming the rice milk, Siddharth sat under a peepal tree continuously for 49 days. And on 49th day, Siddharth attained Nirvana. Nirvana means from henceforward, he won't be having any kind of desires. That is enlightenment. And from now onwards, Siddharth was referred as Buddha. Buddha means enlightened one. Siddharth, after specifically speaking, after attaining Nirvana, the first mudra that was performed by Siddharth was Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. And UPSC prelims, there was a question, what is the significance of Bhumi Sparsha Mudra? Okay, so he performed Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. Then he delivered his first sermon at a place called as Sarnath near Varanasi. And here he performed a mudra which is referred as Dharma Chakra Mudra. It simply signifies whatever Buddha is saying is directly coming from heart of Buddha. Buddha is also referred as Tathagat. Again, a question asked in the UPSC prelims examination. Tathagat basically means pathfinder of truth. Okay? Buddha, he died at the age of 80 at a place called as Kushinagar or Pava. And at that time, Kushinagar or Pava was the capital of Malla Mahajanpad. And the death of Buddha is referred as Mahaparinirvana. Okay? Now, Buddha had started a Buddhist Sangh at a place called as Rajgriha. If any person wants to join the Sangh, okay, he had to take three important vows. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Is that clear? So these are the important terminologies that you have to remember from the exam perspective. Buddha, he attained Nirvana at the age of 35. He died at the age of 80. And he delivered his maximum sermons at a place called as Shravasti. And Shravasti was the capital of Kosla Mahajanpad. Is that clear? Let's move ahead with the next one. Which of the following kingdoms were associated with the life of Buddha? This question have been asked in the UPSC prelims examination twice. Okay? Avanti, Gandhar, Kosla or Magad? 1, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4. Fast. Yes, guys, this question has been asked in the UPSC examination twice. Dr. Akhil, you go for C, that is 3 and 4. What about the others? Nitesh Dugarji, you go for C. Yes. Himvarsha, you go for D. Vipul, you go for C. Answer to this question is C. That is 3 and 4. Okay? Sorry. Yes, answer to this question is C. That is 3 and 4. As we have discussed previously, precisely speaking, Buddha has delivered his maximum sermons at a place called as Shravasti. Shravasti was the capital of Kosla Mahajanpad. And Buddha had started a Buddhist Sangh at a place called as Rajgriha. It is located in Magad. So answer is 3 and 4. Okay? Very good, Rajesh ji. Let's move ahead with the next one. Who amongst the following was the last person to be converted by Buddha into Buddhism? It's a factual one. Anand, Vasumitra, Goshal or Shubhad? Anand, Vasumitra, Goshal or Subhad? Fast. It's a factual one. Yes, take a guess. Fast. Yes, guys. Answer to this question. Vipul goes with D. Okay, Dr. Akhil, you don't know. No issues with that. Just take a guess, guys. Answer to this question is D. Shubhad. He was the last person to be converted by Buddha into Buddhism. Okay, Rajesh ji, no, it's not A, it's D. Shubhad. Okay, next one. Which one of the following describes the best concept of nirvana in Buddhism? As I've told you previously, if you listen to the discussions properly, 100% you will be able to answer the forthcoming questions. Okay? So it is the extension of the flame of desire, the complete annihilation of self, a state of bliss and rest, and a mental stage beyond all the comprehensions. Yes, fast. Buddha, Siddhartha was referred as Buddha, and the word Buddha basically means enlightened one. Very good, Dr. Akhil. Perfect. Nitesh, perfect. That's great. It simply means that you guys are listening to the discussions properly. Yes. Answer to this question is the extension of the flame of desire. Is that clear? Perfect, Himvarsha. Very good. Vipul. Great. Let's move ahead. Gautam Buddha gave the maximum sermons at which place? Again, the same question. As we have discussed previously, as I have told you, Buddha, he attained nirvana at the age of 35. He died at the age of 80 at a place called as Kushinagar or Pava. Okay, so he delivered his maximum sermons at which places? I'll give you a small hint. It is a capital of Kosla Mahajanpad. Himvarsha, perfect. Oh, Dr. Akhil, you revised the Buddhism video before coming to the class. That's great. Yes, perfect. Vipul, perfect answer. Answer to this question is B, Shravasti. Okay? Answer to this question is B, Shravasti, which was the capital of Kosla Mahajanpad. One more important fact I'll tell you. Okay, like please go through stupa architecture, and usually UPSC has a tendency to ask a question on stupa architecture. Okay, as the name Shravasti striked, like there was another stupa that struck my mind, so I'll explain the point. Like usually the UPSC has asked a question on different terminology related with different kind of stupas. So it is said that after the death of Buddha, his body relics were being distributed among 8 royal families. And the distribution was being done by a Brahmin whose name was Drona. And a stupa was constructed over the body relics of Buddha. So what does stupa simply signify? Stupa simply signifies the death of Buddha or Mahaparinirvana. So just go through important stupas which are important from the exam perspective. The first stupa is Sanchi Stupa. Okay. Sanchi Stupa, it was being constructed by initially Ashok. Okay. After the decline of Mauryan Empire, there was a Brahmin dynasty that came into power. It was Shunga dynasty. And Pushyamitra Shunga had destroyed the Sanchi Stupa. Then his son Agnimitra Shunga had rebuilt the Sanchi Stupa. Apart from this, in the original Stupa architecture, specifically in Sanchi, there was no concept of Toran. The concept of Toran into Stupa architecture was added by Satvahan dynasty rulers. Second, Dhamek Stupa, another important one. Then go through Ramabhar Stupa. And Ramabhar Stupa, it is located specifically at a place called as Kushinagar, where Buddha died. That is a place of Mahaparinirvana. Another important stupa from the exam perspective is Kesariya Stupa. It is located in Bihar. Then comes Anantapindika Stupa. If you want to note it down, guys, you can note it down. All these are the important concepts. And Anantapindika Stupa, it is dedicated not to Buddha, but one of the disciples of Buddha, whose name was Anantapindika. Okay, Anantapindika basically means a person who donates a lot. And Anantapindika Stupa is located in Shravasti. Okay. Apart from this, the terminologies related to stupa architecture are very, very important. Now, just go through the basic terminology related to stupa architecture, such as what is Harmika, Anda, Vedika, Medhi. Okay? Harmika, Anda, Vedika, Medhi, Tabena. All these are terminologies related to stupa architecture, and they are not only important from the perspective of Buddhism, but also from the perspective of art and culture. Okay, and the term stupa specifically, it has its origin back in Rig Veda, not in Buddhism. Is that clear? So these are the things that you need to remember about stupa architecture. There are 3 kinds of stupas: Sharirik Stup, Paribhogika Stup, and Updeshika Stup. The stupa which is constructed over the body relics of Buddha is referred as Sharirik Stupa. The stupa which is constructed over the belongings of Buddha, it's a what we say Paribhogika Stupa. One such example is Kesariya Stupa located in Bihar. It is nothing but Paribhogika Stupa. And stupa which actually specifically specifies about Buddha or life story of Buddha, that is nothing but Updeshika Stupa. Is that clear? Let's move ahead with the next one. Who among the following presided over the Buddhist council held during the reign of Kanishk at Kashmir? Fast. 7th one. It was Parsva, Nagarjun, Shudrak, or Vasumitra. Yes, please fast. Totally, how many Buddhist councils were held, first of all? Very good, Dr. Akhil. Himvarsha goes for D. Niteshji goes for D. Yes, guys. What about the others? Yes. Rajeshji goes for D. Vipul goes for D. Akhil goes for B. Answer to this question is D. Okay. Totally, there were 4 Buddhist council. The first Buddhist council, it was held at a place called as Rajgriha. To be very precise, Satapani caves, and it was patronized by Ajatshatru. Second Buddhist council was held at Vaishali, and it was patronized by Shishunak dynasty ruler Kal Ashok. He is also referred as Kaka Varna in different Sri Lankan texts. Third Buddhist council, it's a very important one. Third Buddhist council, it was held at a place called as Patliputra, and it was patronized by Mauryan dynasty ruler Ashoka. One more important fact, if you want to note it down, please note it down. The compilation of 3 Pitakas, the important Buddhist text, took place in Third Buddhist Council. Okay? Fourth Buddhist Council, it was held in Kashmir and patronized by Kanishk. Okay? Most important aspect, this is the only council which was held in Sanskrit language. And the previous 3 councils were held in Pali language. Buddhism was divided into 2 parts, Heenyan and Mahayana, in 4th Buddhist Council. So 4th Buddhist Council was patronized by Kushan dynasty ruler Kanishk, and it was presided by Vasumitra. Hope so the point is clear. So what kind of questions can come up in the examination? The compilation of 3 Pitakas, it took place in which council? So it was 3rd Buddhist Council. Okay, which was the Buddhist council which took place in Sanskrit language? The 4th one. Then the division of what we say Buddhism into 2 parts, Heenyan and Mahayana, took place in which Buddhist council? It was 4th Buddhist Council. Is that clear? Let's move ahead. Mahayana sect of Buddhism emerged during the reign of Ajatshatru, Ashok, Dharmapal or Kanishk. Again, if you have listened to the discussions properly, 100% you will be able to answer the question. Okay? Ajatshatru, Ashok, Dharmapal or Kanishk. It is not Ajatshatru. Why? Because first Buddhist council was held during the time of Ajatshatru at Rajgriha. It's not Ashok because third Buddhist council was held at Patliputra during the time of Ashok. So, Himvarsha, perfect answer. Perfect answer, Niteshji, Dr. Akhil, perfect answer. That's great. Vipulji, perfect answer. Really great of you guys that you are listening to the discussions properly. Answer to this question is Kanishk. As we have discussed right now, that Buddhism was divided into 2 parts, Heenyan and Mahayana. And it was divided like specifically during the 4th Buddhist Council. Is that clear? Heenyan believed in symbolic worship. Mahayana form of Buddhism, they believed in idol worship. Is it clear? Mahayana form of Buddhism again believed in one more concept, and that concept is Bodhisattvas. So just go through important Bodhisattvas. There have been questions in the UPSC examination on the important Bodhisattvas. Is that clear? Yes, very good, Purva. It's Kanishk. Let's move ahead with the next one. Buddhist Council presidents match the following. 9th one. Fast. Fast. Yes. First Buddhist Council, it was patronized by Ajatshatru. It was held at a place called as Satapani Caves, Rajgriha. Second Buddhist Council was patronized by Kalashok, held at Vaishali. Third one at Patliputra, patronized by Ashok. Fourth one at Kashmir, patronized by Kanishk. Yes. Okay, Himvarsha goes for D. Dr. Akhil, just take a guess. Yes, guys, answer to this question is D. First Buddhist Council, it was specifically presided by Sabkami. Second Buddhist Council was presided by, first Buddhist Council was presided by Mahakashyap. A. 2. Okay, ninth one. Then second Buddhist council, it was presided by Sabakami. Third Buddhist council was presided by Mogliputta Tissa. And the fourth Buddhist council, as discussed in the previous question itself, it was presided by Vasumitra. Now, what was the outcome of every Buddhist council? Okay, in first Buddhist council, that there were debates and discussion on Vinay Pitak and Sutta Pitak, and Abhidhamma Pitak was also discussed. In second Buddhist council, it is said that the Buddhism was divided into two parts. Okay, one was Theravada and second one was Mahasangika. Theravada is considered as orthodox followers of Buddhism and Mahasangika were considered as liberal followers of Buddhism. Then third Buddhist council, it saw the compilation of three Pitakas. And in fourth Buddhist council, there was division of Buddhism into two parts, Hinayan and Mahayana. Hope so the point is clear. Let's move ahead. Select the correct answer using the code below. Okay. Birth, Bodhi tree, first sermon, Dharma Chakra Parivartan, enlightenment, horse, great departure, lotus. Yes, fast. So this is nothing but symbolic kind of worship. 10th one. Fast. Yes. Yes. Please do answer the question. Dr. Akhil, you go with D. What about the others? I'll give you 5 seconds more. Boggle up your brains, guys. Vipul, you go with D. Niteshji, you go with D. Yes, perfect answer. Answer to this question is 4213. Okay. Lotus specifically means Lalit and it symbolizes birth of Buddha. Then the great departure or the renunciation, which is also referred as Mahabhinishkraman. Okay. So Mahabhinishkraman, it is specified by horse. So fourth is 3. First sermon. Okay. Buddha had delivered his first sermon as discussed previously at a place called as Sarnath near Varanasi. And that process is referred as Dharma Chakra Parivartan. And he had performed one mudra that was Dharma Chakra Mudra. It simply signifies one thing. Whatever Buddha is saying is directly coming from heart of Buddha. So first sermon is Dharma Chakra, Parivartan. And enlightenment, it was under a peepal tree, which is also referred as Bodhi Vriksh or Bodhi tree, located at a place called as Gaya. Hope so the point is clear. So answer to this question is D. Perfect, Roshan. Okay, perfect, Deva. Rajesh ji, perfect. Let's move ahead with the next one. Who among the following wanted to become the leader of the Sangh even during the lifetime of Buddha? That is Devdutt, Mahakashyap, Upali or Anand. Fast. I'll give you a small hint. This person even has tried to kill Buddha during his lifetime. And in fact, he was one of the cousins of Buddha. Just take a guess. Like Anand was one of the favorite disciples of Buddha. So he could not have attempted to kill Buddha. Yes, fast. 11th one. Yes, guys. Answer to this question is Devdutt. Okay. No, it's Rajesh ji, it's not D. Dr. Akhil, it's not B. Roshan ji, it's not D. Perfect, Himvarsha. The answer to this question is A. Devdutt. As discussed previously, Buddha had started a Buddhist Sangh at a place called as Rajgriha. And if any person wants to join Sangh, initially only men were allowed into the Sangh. That is, bhikshus were allowed into the Sangh. But later on, even the women, that is, bhikshunis, were also allowed into the Sangh. Any person who wants to join the Sangh has to follow certain commandments. Okay? And like he had to take 3 important vows. Specifically, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami and Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Is that clear? Okay. So answer to this question is A. Devdutt. The concept of eightfold path forms a theme of which literature? Deepavams, Divyavadan, then Mahaparinirban, Dharma Chakra Parivartan Sutta. Okay, you might have heard about this. Buddha has talked about 4 noble truths and eightfold path. Correct? Sorrow or suffering, cause of suffering, cessation of suffering and path to cessation of suffering. the eightfold path, which is also referred as Ashtangika Marg or Madhyam Marg. Okay? So, it finds mention in which Buddhist text? Take a guess. Okay, Dr. Akhil, you go with C. Vipulji, you go with D. What about the others? Take a guess, guys. Yes, fast. Answer to this question is Dharma Chakra Parivartan Sutta. Answer is D. No issues, Vipul. Even though if you are weak in this part, there's no issue with that. Just keep on revising the concept. In ancient Indian history and medieval Indian history, focus majorly on terminologies as well. Okay? Yes, Rajesh ji, it's not B, the answer, Roshan, perfect answer. The answer to this question is D. Next one. Which one of the following are true about Gautam Buddha? He believes in the theory of karma. He believes in the concept of rebirth. He believed in attaining nirvana, that is enlightenment, and he believed in the power of God. So which among the following statements are true? Only 1, 2, and 3, 1 and 2, only 1, or all the above statements are true? Fast. Yes, guys. Just take a guess, fast. We'll give you 5 seconds to answer the question. Okay, Vipul, you go with D. Roshan, you go with A. What about the others? Devaji, you go with D. Nitesh, you go with C. Dr. Akhil, you go with A. Okay. My friends, answer to this question is A. 1, 2, and 3. Buddha never believed in God, or Buddhism never believes in the concept of God. Okay? Himvarsha, it's not C, it's 1, 2, and 3. The entry of women as bhikshuni into the Buddhist Sangh was allowed by Gautam Buddha at Shravasti, Vaishali, Rajgriha or Kushinagar, the 14th one. Yes? Shravasti, Vaishali, Rajgriha or Kushinagar. See, as I've talked about this previously, Buddha had started a Buddhist Sangh at a place called as Rajgriha, okay, which was the capital of Magad Empire at that time. Okay, and initially only the men were allowed, that is bhikshus were allowed, bhikshunis or women were not allowed. So entry of women was allowed at which place? No, Dr. Akhil, Roshanji, it's not C. Deva, it's not C. Yes, Dr. Akhil, you have asked a question on rebirth. Rebirth simply signifies that soul is transient in nature. It's like energy. Okay. It takes birth on the basis of the stock of the karmas that has been performed. That is nothing but rebirth. So Buddhism do believes in the concept of rebirth. Is that clear, Dr. Akhil? My friends, answer to this question is not Rajgriha. Answer to this question is Vaishali. Time and again, I have repeated this point. And the point is, Buddha had started Buddhist Sangh at a place called as Rajgriha. Okay, the entry of women was allowed at a place called as Vaishali. Okay, into the Buddhist Sangh. Yes, perfect, Vipul. Now it is known as Rajgir. So answer to this question is B. Perfect answer, only given by a single person, two people, Kotapuri and Himvarsha. Okay, let's move ahead. Very good. Which one of the following Buddhist texts contains the rules of monastic life? Dignikhaya, Vinay Pitak, Abhidhamma Pitak or Vibhash Shastra? Fast. As we have discussed, there are totally 3 Pitakas. Okay. Now what is 3 Pitakas? 3 means 3. Pitakas means basket. So there are 3 basket of books. One is Vinay Pitak. Second one is Sutta Pitak. Third one is Abhidhamma Pitak. Okay. So out of these 3 Pitakas, which is a Pitak which specifically specifies about the rules and regulation? Vipul goes with B. Rajesh goes with B. Himvarsha goes with B, that is Vinay Pitak. Yes. Any other guesses? Oh, that's great, Vipul. You belong to Bihar. That's great. Nalanda. That's great. which was being created by Kumar Gupta, the university. Roshan, you go with B. Rajesh, you go with B. Perfect. Answer to this question is Vinay Pitak. Okay. Vinay Pitak, specifically, it is a book on discipline. And in Vinay Pitak, totally, it is believed that there are more than 227 rules for monks and 311 rules for bhikshunis, that is nuns. Sutta Pitak, it basically describes about the different sermons of Buddha. And it is divided into different parts. Digha Nikhaya, Majjhim Nikhaya, okay, Angutara Nikhaya, and so on. Okay, and Abhidhamma Pitak, it is nothing but Buddhist philosophy and dogma. All these things have been mentioned in Abhidhamma Pitak. Okay, as discussed previously, the compilation of 3 Pitakas took place during Third Buddhist Council. Just remember that. Is that clear? Okay. In ancient Indian Buddhist monasteries, a ceremony called Pavaran used to be held. It was. Yes, it was. I'll give you 25 to 30 seconds to read the different options. And this question has been asked in the UPSC Prelims examination. What is Pavaran all about? Okay. Apart from this, there is another terminology which has also been asked in the examination. What is Paramita? As I've told you, Buddhism and Jainism usually focuses on terminologies as well. I'll give you a few seconds to answer this question. 16th one. Kotapuri, you go with B. Nitesh, you go with B. Himvarsha, you go with B. Meanwhile, those who have answered the question, please let me know what is Paramita. Yes, guys, answer to this question is B. Confession of sin by monks. Okay, like I'll give you a very simple example. Very good. Dr. Akhil, it's not C. Vipul, perfect answer. It's B. See, monks and nuns usually have to spend their life by taking alms. And they have to wander from place to place. And during the monsoon season, they used to stay inside the caves. Okay, and these caves or the residing places were referred as vihar. So there is 2 more important concepts. What is Chaitya and Vihar? Again, the concept of Chaitya and Vihar has been directly asked in UPSC examination. So the Chaitya basically means prayer hall and Vihar is nothing but residing place for monks and nuns. So these caves, they became Vihar, that is residing place for monks and nuns during the monsoon season. In the coming years, in the later years, these Vihars got converted into different monasteries. Okay. So during the end of the monsoon, there was a ceremony that was held that is referred as Pavaran. So whatever sins were being confessed, whatever sins were being done, monks used to confess their sins. That ceremony is referred as Pavaran. And the word Paramita specifically means spiritual perfection. Spiritual perfection. Is that clear? So terminologies are very important from the exam perspective. Very good, Nitesh ji. Let's move ahead with the next one. The word stupa has been used for the first time in which text? I have discussed about this. Yes. So if you have listened to the discussions properly, 100% you will be able to answer this question. The word stupa. Yes, perfect, Nitesh. The 10 perfections in Buddhism or the 10 commandments. Rigved, Jatak Katha, Arthashastra, Ashtadhyayi or none of the above. Very good, Dr. Akhil. Yes, what about the others? Fast, we have discussed about this. Very good, Vipul. Perfect answer. Answer to this question is A, Rigved. So the word stupa finds mention for the first time in Rigved. Is that clear? Okay. No, Himvarsha, it's not D. It's A. We have discussed about this. Okay. Next one. With reference to the ancient India, consider the following statement. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin, first statement. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in the Buddhist tradition. How many of the statements given above are correct? 18th one. Yes. How many statements are correct? Yes, you can use the elimination technique here. As discussed previously, the concept of stupa, Okay, it's not Buddhist in origin. It finds mention for the first time in Rig Veda. So the first statement, it becomes wrong. Okay, if the first statement become wrong, specifically, so these two statements are automatically eliminated. Then, what about the other? Yes, as I have discussed previously, like after the death of Buddha, his body relics were being distributed among the 8 royal families. Correct? And specifically, the distribution was being done by a Brahmin named as Drona. So, specifically over these body relics, Stupa was being constructed. So, this answer is true, or the second statement is true. And what does it commemorate? It specifically commemorate the death of Buddha, or it specifically signifies the death of Buddha or Mahaparinirvan. So, two statements are correct. So, answer to this question is B, only two. Hope so the points are clear. I have also mentioned about the different stupas that you need to go through from the exam perspective. Is that clear? One more important aspect I'll talk about. Also focus on different mudras associated with Buddhism. And UPSC had asked a question on mudras as well. The first mudra was Bhumi Sparsh Mudra. A question has been asked in the UPSC examination. What is the significance of Bhumi Sparsh Mudra? Then go through Dharma Chakra Mudra. What is the significance of Dharma Chakra Mudra? Anjali Mudra. Please note it down if you want to. Anjali Mudra. Apart from this, Abhay Mudra, Karna Mudra, Uttar Bodhi Mudra. Okay, just go through significance of all these mudras, because UPSC usually has a tendency to ask a question on mudras precisely from the perspective of art and culture. Okay, so there has been a question in the UPSC prelims examination previously. What is the significance of Bhumi Sparsh Mudra? Is that clear? Yes, Dr. Akhil, commemorate basically means a kind of a happy celebration. I didn't mean to say it was a death of, commemorate means it was a kind of a happy celebration or the death of Buddha. I actually meant to say specifically about it signifies the death of Buddha. Is that clear, Dr. Akhil? I meant to say in that manner. It signifies the death of Buddha. Is that clear? Now let's move ahead with the next one. With reference to ancient India, Gautam Buddha was generally known by which of the following epithets? Nayaput, Shakyamuni or Tathagat? Yes, 19th one. First. Yes. We have already discussed about this. If you have listened, I have talked about for the initial 2 to 3 minutes about the different terminologies associated with Buddhism. Yes, fast. Perfect. Him Varsha has given the perfect answer, followed by Nitesh. As discussed previously, Siddharth's father's name was Shuddhodhan, and he was the head of Sakya clan. So Buddha was also referred as Sakyamuni. And after attaining Nirvana, it is said that he was also referred as Tathagat. Tathagat basically means pathfinder of truth. And UPSC has directly asked a question, what is Tathagat? So Tathagat basically means pathfinder of truth. Is that clear? Let's move ahead. With reference to the cultural history of India, which one of the following is correct description of the term paramita? Yes, we have discussed it right now. Okay? Yes, the earliest Dharma Shastra texts are written in aphoristic sutra style. Philosophical schools that did not accept the authority of Vedas, perfections whose attainment led to Bodhisattva path, and powerful merchant guilds of early medieval South India. Yes? We have discussed it right now, guys. Paramita. Yes, perfect answer given by Dr. Akhil. Nitesh. Paramita specifically means what? Spiritual perfectness. So it is nothing but perfections. Is that clear? Hence, I keep on saying, please keep on listening to the discussions properly so that you guys will be able to answer the forthcoming questions. No, Himvarsha, it's not B. It's spiritual perfections. I have right now mentioned here, if you can observe. Okay? A question was there. Paramita, I have directly mentioned here. It's spiritual perfection. Hope so the point is clear. Okay. Let's move ahead with the next one. Which one of the following laid the foundation of idol worship in the country? Jainism, Buddhism, Ajivikas, or Vedic religion? Fast. In very simple, this question is trying to ask the origin of idol worship goes back to Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, or Ajivika sect. Fast. I had given you the hint previously itself. Okay. Himvarsha, you go with D. Dr. Akhil, you go with B. Vipul, you go with D. My friends, answer to this question is B. I'll give you a very simple example about this. Let me go back to the Indus Valley civilization. At Indus Valley civilization, statue of Mother Goddess have been found. But we have just inferred that she might be Mother Goddess. Because the Indus Valley script still stands undeciphered. We have just inferred. Correct? In Vedic civilization, if you observe, majority of the gods were the Vedic gods. And there is no evidence of, majority of the gods were nature gods. And there is no evidence of temple, there is no evidence of idol worship. For the first time, the evidence of idol worship comes from Mahayana form of Buddhism. Like Buddhism, it was divided initially into two parts, Heenan and Mahayana. Heenan basically means lower vehicle for salvation. And the followers of Heenan, their majority of the literature is in Pali language. They believed that Buddha was not a god. He was a normal human being like us. He has followed certain process and then he has attained nirvana. On the other hand, Mahayana believed that Buddha was a god. Okay? And Mahayana, they believed in the idol worship. Heenan, they believed in symbolic worship. Is that clear? Mahayana form of Buddhism also believed in one more important concept, that is bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas are nothing but Buddha in making. So please remember this point as well, that the concept of bodhisattvas emerged from which form of Buddhism? That is Mahayana form of Buddhism. And from Mahayana form of Buddhism emerged Vajrayana form of Buddhism. Okay? Vajrayana form of Buddhism, they believed in tantric activities. In fact, there are different texts associated with Vajrayana form of Buddhism as well. Such as, which are the important texts? I'll give you a small example. Manjushri Moolakalp. One text. And this is, what we say, one of the important texts on Vajrayana form of Buddhism. And other one is Ratna Gotra Vibhag. So all these are the important texts on Vajrayana form of Buddhism, which is an offshoot of Mahayana form of Buddhism. So hope the point is clear, my friends. Very good, Rahul. Ab aa gaye. That's great. Moving up with the next one. Name the mudra which is represented by Gandhar Buddha image of Sarnath first Sarman. Abhay Mudra, Dhyan Mudra, Dharma Chakra Mudra, or Bhumi Sparsh Mudra. Yes, 22nd. Fast. So, what is Buddha's? You can easily answer this question even if you don't know about the mudra. What is the first sermon of Buddha called as? Yes. Very good, Dr. Akhil. What about the others? What is the first sermon of Buddha called as? The first sermon of Buddha is referred as Dharma Chakra Parivartan. And the mudra here that was performed is Dharma Chakra Mudra. Is that clear? Vipul, it's not A, it's C. You can even go by the logic. First sermon. So first sermon is referred as what? Dharma Chakra Parivartan. So mudra would be Dharma Chakra Mudra. I've discussed this twice or thrice. Is it clear, guys? Okay? Okay. Very good. No, mudra and symbols are different. Symbol, like as I've told you, Heenan follower of Buddhism, they believed in symbolic worship. So mudra and symbols are different. Okay. Symbols are actually the representation of the life events of Buddha. Like lotus symbolizes the birth of Buddha. Horse symbolizes the great renunciation. Bodhi tree symbolizes the process of enlightenment. Because under the people tree, Buddha had attained enlightenment. Okay. conch shell. It symbolizes thoughts of Buddha. Hope so the point is clear. Okay. Sarnath Buddha image of Bhumi Sparsh Mudra belongs to Mauryan period, Shunga period, Kushan period or Gupta period. Fast. Take a guess. Mauryas, Shungas, Kushan or Gupta. Sarnath Buddha's image of Bhumi Sparsh Mudra belongs to which age? In fact, later on, a stupa was being constructed at a place called as Sarnath, which is referred as Dhamek Stupa. It belongs to Gupta period. Answer to this question is D, not A. Yes, it's not A, it's D, Gupta period. Is that clear? One more important thing, UPSC usually has a tendency to ask questions on different monasteries. And UPSC once upon a time has asked a question on monasteries in the form of which among the following are incorrectly matched. On one side, the name of the monasteries were being written. On the other side, the locations were being written. So which among the following are incorrectly matched? So you have to go through few important monasteries. Let me give you the information, and if you want to, you can note them down, the important monasteries. Thikse Monastery, then Namdroling, Mindrolling, all these are the monasteries, okay? Mindrolling, K, Tabo Monastery. Tabo Monastery, it is very important from the exam perspective because Tabo Monastery is oftenly referred as Ajanta of Himalayas. Then Sashur Monastery, Enche Monastery, Rumtek Monastery, Tawang Monastery, a very important one which is located in Arunachal Pradesh, and Tawang Monastery is also referred as Chosen Horse Monastery. Okay, and UPSC had asked a question specifically in the form of match the following. As discussed previously, on one side the name of the monasteries, on the other side the location of these monasteries, which among the following monasteries are correctly matched or incorrectly matched. Is that clear? Moving ahead. With reference to the cultural history of India, consider the following pairs. Parivrajak, renunciant and wanderer, Shraman, priest with a high status, and Upasak, lay followers of Buddhism. Which among the following pairs are correctly matched? 24th. Fast. Yes. Parivrajak. Fast. These are the terminology. Yes, Dr. Akhil. Buddhism and Jainism, you have a lot many things to go through. And more important from the art and culture perspective as well. Nitesh ji, you go for B, 1 and 3. What about the others? Vipul ji, you go with A, 1 and 2. Dr. Akhil, you go with D, that is 1, 2 and 3. Yes. Parivrajak means renunciant and wanderer. One who has renounced everything. Shramana. Shramana basically means what? Shramana basically means one who strives for his own redemption. It's not the priest with the high status. So this one is wrong. And this one is correct. Upasak means lay followers of Buddhism. So answer to this question is B, 1 and 3 are correct. Is that clear? Moving ahead. In Mahayana Buddhism, the Bodhisattvas, Avalokiteshwar was also known as Vajrapani, Manjushri, Padmapani or Maitreyi. Okay, as we have discussed previously, the concept of Bodhisattvas emerged from Mahayana form of Buddhism. Bodhisattvas are also referred as Buddha in making. So, 25th one. Vajrapani, Manjushri, Padmapani or Maitreyi. Kotapuri, you go with D. Dr. Akhil, you go with A. Rahul ji, you go with Padmapani. Yes, others, any guesses? Vipul ji, you go with C, that is Padmapani. Answer to this question is C, Padmapani. As I've told you, please go through the important Bodhisattvas as they are important from the exam perspective. Okay, Himvarsha, it's not B, it's Padmapani, C. Okay. With reference to ancient Indian history, who among the following is a future Buddha yet to come to save the world? Avalokiteshwar, Lokeshwar, Maitre, or Padmapani? Yes, 26th. And this question has been asked in the UPSC prelims examination, also referred as future Buddha. Fast. Yes, Rahul, one who holds the lotus, Avalokiteshwar. Nitesh ji, perfect answer. Answer to this question is C, Maitreya Buddha. Okay, also referred as future Buddha. Very good, Himvarsha. Dr. Akhil, it's not A, it's C. Okay. Next one. With reference to the religious history of India, consider the following statement. The concept of Bodhisattva is central to Heenan sect of Buddhism. If you have listened to the discussions properly, 100% with the help of elimination technique, you can derive the answer of this question. Then, Bodhisattva is a compassionate one on his way to enlightenment. Bodhisattva's delays achieving his salvation to help all the sentient beings on their path to it. Which of the following statements are correct? 27th. Fast. Very good, Nitesh. Very good, Rahul. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. As we have discussed previously, the concept of Bodhisattva is not a central theme of Heenan sect of Buddhism. It's a central theme of Mahayana followers of Buddhism. Okay? They are also referred as Buddha in making. Is that clear? Okay, so the answer to this question is B, 2 and 3. It's not A. The painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani is one of the most famous and illustrated paintings at Ajanta Caves, Badami Caves, Bagh Caves and Ellora Caves. Fast. 28th. I'll give you a small hint. These group of caves are located on the banks of river Vaghora and it is located in Aurangabad district of Maharashtra, presently referred as Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. Take a guess, fast. Perfect answer. Rahul, Himvarsha, perfect answer. Vipul, perfect answer. Answer to this is Ajanta Caves. Okay. Also go through the important caves, okay, which are important from the perspective of Buddhism. First one is Ajanta Caves. Okay. Ajanta Caves, it is located on the banks of river Vaghora in what we say Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar district of Maharashtra. It is a group of 29 to 30 caves. Ajanta Caves are solely dedicated to Buddhism. Is that clear? Then comes Ellora Caves. Ellora Caves again are located in Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar of Maharashtra. Ellora Caves are dedicated to Buddhism, Jainism and Hinduism. Ellora Caves, like Ajanta Caves, majorly were patronized by Satavahan dynasty rulers. Then Ellora Caves were being patronized by Satavahan dynasty rulers and Rashtrakuta dynasty rulers. Cave number 15, 16, 17 are important of Ellora Caves. Please remember these caves. Okay. One is Dashavatar temple, one is Kailashnath temple, one is Ravan ki Khai. So cave number 15, 16 and 17 are important. Ellora caves are dedicated to Buddhism, Jainism and Hinduism. Ellora caves are also referred as Carpenter's Cave. Then comes Bagh Caves. Bagh Caves are located on the banks of river Baghani. It is located in Dhar district of Madhya Pradesh. Okay. And here in Bagh Cave, there is a hall which is referred as Rang Mahal. That is very important. Okay. Then Karle Caves, Bhaja Caves, Pandav Leni Caves. Okay. Karle Caves, Bhaja Caves, Pandav Leni Caves, Kanheri. All these caves are very important from the exam perspective, precisely related to Buddhism. Hope so the point is clear. Okay. Yes, very good, Rahul. Perfect. Krishna 1. Next one. The largest and the most evolved rock-cut Chaitya hall of the Heenan phase is situated at Pithalkhora, Junnar, Karle or Bedasa. Yes. Nitesh ji, you go with Pithalkhora caves. Pitalkhora, it is the second one. Okay. Answer to this question is Karle Caves, which is located near Pune. Okay. As we have discussed, the word here used is Chaitya. Chaitya Griha basically means prayer hall. And Vihar basically means what? Reciting place for monks and nuns. So the largest Chaitya Griha we have observed at Karle Caves. Okay. And Pitalkhora Caves, it is second or third. Is that clear, Nitesh ji? Yes, very good Vipul, very good Rahul. So answer to this is Karle Caves located in Pune. Moving ahead. Who is the author of Vishuddhi Marg? Nagarjun, then Padmasambhav, Vasubandhu or Buddha Ghosh? 30th. Fast, it's a literature part and it's a factual one. You have to go through the literature part as well because UPSC again has a tendency to ask a question on literature part as well. And specifically Gupta literature that we'll see in the further coming sessions. Take a guess fast. Yes, guys, we have 8 to 9 more questions to go. Dr. Akhil, you go with A. Himvarsha, you go with C. Vasubandhu. Answer to this question is D. Buddha Ghosh. Okay, moving ahead. The doctrine of void, Shunyata, was propounded by the Buddhist philosopher Nagarjun, Nagasen, Anand or Ashwaghosh. 31st. Yes. I'll give you a small hint. This person, he is also the founder of Mahayana sect of Buddhism. Like it is said that Mahayana sect of Buddhism was being founded by Nagarjun and Asang. Okay. So answer to this question is Nagarjun. He has propounded the philosophy of Shunyata or void. Is that clear? Vipulji, it's not B, it's A. Nitesh, perfect. Himvarsha, perfect. The answer to this question is A. Clear? Historical person. With reference to Indian history, consider the following pairs. Historical person known as Aryadev, he was a Jain scholar. Then Dignag, he was a Buddhist scholar. Nath Muni, he was a Vaishnav scholar. How many pairs above are correctly matched? Yes, fast. How many pairs above are correctly matched? Yes, Dr. Akhil, perfect. 32. Yes, take a guess. None of the pairs, all the pairs, only one pair, only two pairs. Take a guess. A, B, C, D. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer the question. See, Nath Muni was a Vaishnav. At least you should know one. So Nath Muni was a Vaishnav scholar. So if you know one option, what happens? Automatically this option gets eliminated. Okay. Kotapuri, you go with A. Himvarsha, you go with B. Vipul, you go with B. Answer to this question is 32. Yes. C. Yes, he was a Buddhist scholar. Nath Muni was a Vaishnav scholar. Aryadev was not a Jain scholar. He was a Buddhist scholar. Okay. So answer is two pairs are correct. So for 32, you have to go with C. Is that clear? 33. Nalanda University was founded during the dynasty of. We have discussed it right now because Vipul had said, sir, I belong to Bihar. And then I've talked about this, about the construction of Nalanda University. Fast. Maurya, Kushan, Gupta or Pala? Fast. Mauryan dynasty, Kushan dynasty, Gupta dynasty or Pala dynasty? Very good, Himvarsha. Nitesh. Perfect. Answer to this is Kumar Gupta dynasty rulers. And my one more question to you guys is, who destroyed Nalanda University during the medieval period? Yes, perfect, Himvarsha. Who destroyed the Nalanda University during the medieval period? He was one of the slaves of Muhammad Ghori. Fast. Was it Kutubuddin Aibak or Bakhtiyar Khilji? So, please note it down if you want to note it down. Nalanda University was being constructed by Kumar Gupta. He was a Gupta dynasty ruler. And during the medieval period, it was being destroyed by Bakhtiyar Khilji. In fact, Bhakhtiyar Khilji has destroyed many other universities such as Udantipur University, Vikramshila University, and so on. Very good, Nitesh, Dr. Akhil, Himvarsha, Vipul, perfect answer. Let's move ahead. Which one of the following were common to both Buddhism and Jainism? Avoidance of extremities of penance and enjoyment. Then, indifference to the authority of Vedas, denial of efficiency of rituals, non-injury to animal life. Select the following. 34th. Okay, which were common. See, both of them believed in the concept of ahimsa. So this statement is true. And if this statement is true, automatically this one gets eliminated. Okay? Both of them denied the efficiency of rituals. I have what we say taken the lectures of Buddhism and Jainism in quite depth and detail. You can go through that playlist. And we have discussed one thing. Buddhism and Jainism are offshoot of Shramana movement. Okay. And Buddhism and Jainism are not at all against Hinduism, but they are against the evil practices and rituals present within that. So they denied the efficiency of what? They denied the efficiency of rituals. Okay. So specifically this one is true. Okay. Then comes indifference to the authority of Vedas. This one is true. Jainism, they believed in extreme austerity. I'll give you one of the finest example. Jainism was divided into two parts, Digambar and Shwetambar. And Digambar, they believed in extreme penance. Okay, like Digambar monks are completely naked. They do not wear clothes. In fact, female Digambar, they wear white sari and are referred as arikas. Digambar monks believe that the dig means disha or direction, and ambar, that is sky. The sky and the four direction are their apparels. Okay, so specifically they believed in, Jainism believed in extreme austerity. So answer to this question is B, 2, 3 and 4. Hope so the point is clear. Let's move ahead. Why did Buddhism start declining in India in the early medieval times? 35th. Buddha was by that time considered as one of the incarnations of Vishnu and thus became the part of Vaishnavism. The invading tribes from Central Asia till the time of last Gupta king adopted Hinduism and persecuted Buddhist. Okay, the kings of Gupta dynasty were strongly opposed to Buddhism. Fast. I'll tell you one important fact. That is, Gupta dynasty rulers were followers of Vaishnavism. Okay, they worshipped what we say different incarnations of Lord Vishnu, and specifically they worshipped Vishnu. How do we come to know about this? Because on the coins of Gupta Empire, we can usually find the depiction of a Garud, and Garud is a Vahan of Lord Vishnu. We can also find the consort of Lord Vishnu, that is goddess Lakshmi. Okay, so although they were followers of Vaishnavism, but still they revered and respected various other religions. Okay, let me give you a very small example about this. Like it is said that it is like the Samudragupta, who is also referred as Napoleon of India by Vincent Smith. Okay, he had constructed a monastery at a place called as Bodh Gaya. So, or he had supported the construction of monastery at a place called as Bodh Gaya. So, we cannot say that he was opposed to Buddhism. Okay, so 2 and 3 are eliminated. So, 3 option is wrong. You can easily arrive at the answer. The third one is wrong. This one is eliminated. This one is eliminated. This one is eliminated. Answer is only 1. As we have discussed previously, even if you do not know the correct statement or the correct answer, but you can derive the answer using the elimination techniques. And this is one of the finest example of the elimination technique. Is that clear? Yes, answer to this question is A. Very good, Himvarsha, Nitesh, Rahul, Vipul. Yes, perfect, Rahul. Even the Ajanta paintings, like it is said that they were being patronized by Gupta dynasty rulers. Dhamek Stupa, one of the finest example, it was being constructed by Gupta dynasty rulers. Okay. Consider the following statement. What is the difference between Chaitya and Vihar? I have discussed about this twice. Okay. So please answer this. 36th. Yes, exactly. But this is the irony of our history. Correct? Nitesh, like I'll give you a very simple example. Like Napoleon should be called as Samudragupta of France. But this is the irony of our history, specifically the Western historians. Correct? Like usually if you read about the modern Indian history, we have heard about Jallianwala Bagh massacre. But okay, but prior to Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Mangad tragedy took place in Rajasthan. And Mangad tragedy had taken place in 1913. And more than 1500 Bhil tribals, they were being killed by the Britishers. And Mangad tragedy of Rajasthan is oftenly referred as Jallianwala Bagh of Rajasthan. Chhatarpur, okay, during civil disobedience movement, there was an incident that took place in Chhatarpur, okay, and it is referred as Jallianwala Bagh of MP. So this is nothing but the irony of the Western historians. Is that clear? Irony of Indian history, specifically portrayed by the Western historians. Is that clear? So answer to this question, 36th, is B. Chaitya is a place of worship, that is prayer hall. On the other hand, Vihar is a residing place for monks and nuns. It's a dwelling place. Very good, Himvarsha. Dr. Akhil, Vipul, Rahul, perfect. Okay. Yes, Vidurashwata, perfect. Vidurashwata massacre is also referred as Jallianwala Bagh of South India. Perfect, Rahul ji. Next one. Last two questions. In which one of the following regions was Dhanyakatak, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center under the Mahasanghikas located? Andhra, Gandhar, Kaling or Magad? Fast. 37th. Andhra, Gandhar, Kaling, that is Odisha, or Magad? Easy one, guys. It's located in South India. It is in Andhra. Perfect, Himvarsha. Very good, Rahul. Dr. Akhil, perfect answer. Perfect. Okay. The last one. Sanghbhuti, an Indian Buddhist monk who traveled to China at the end of 4th century AD, was the author of a commentary on. Okay. The first one is Prajna Paramita Sutra, Vishuddhi Marg, then Sarvasti Vad Vinay and Lalit Vistar. Yes. Himvarsha. Particularly it's in Amravati. Perfect. 38th. Yes. It's a factual one. So you have to know about this. It's Sarvastivad Vinay. Okay. So what are the important topics that you need to focus on Buddhism precisely from the perspective of prelims examination? First of all, terminologies. After that, 4 Noble Truth and 8-fold Path. Then you have to focus on stupa architecture, important stupas. Mudras of Buddhism. Monasteries associated with Buddhism. Important Buddhist caves. The concept of Chaitya and Vihar. Important Buddhist council. Okay. I'll tell you one more important fact. 4th Buddhist Council was held at 2 places. One was in Kashmir and other one was in Tambapani Caves, Sri Lanka. But it could not get the status of a council because it was not patronized by a major ruler. It was patronized by a local chieftain whose name was Vatagami Abhay. Okay. So important Buddhist council, Tripitakas, that is Buddhist literature. Apart from this, important Buddhist symbols. Clear? Apart from this, you have to focus on different schools of art. Gandhar School of Art, Mathura School of Art and Amravati School of Art. And UPSC has asked a question on different schools of art. Let me give you a small example. Like there could be a probable question. The hair of Buddha are curly. Okay. Like specifically the dress that he has worn, there are folds on that dresses. These are the features. The ears of Buddha are elongated. These are the features of which school of art? So these are the features of Gandhar School of Art. Similarly, Mathura School of Art, Amravati School of Art. Then go through important Bodhisattvas, go through other Buddhist literature. So these are the important topics that you have to go through. Okay? Yes, Rahul, there is a bit of confusion in the different literature part as well. So you can download the PDF of this session from my Telegram channel, history_Alok Ojha. Is that clear? So tomorrow I would be coming up specifically a short session on Jainism as well. It would be a 15 to 20 question session. And on Saturday, I'll be coming up with the Mauryan Empire, again a very important one. Is that clear, friends? My friends, StudyIQ IAS has come up with GS Foundation P2I 2027 batch. Okay. The most important one, the batches are available in bilingual mode. That is, batch is available in Hindi plus English. Apart from this, the batches are available in Hindi medium. And the most important one, there's a complete separate batch for English medium. All the subjects would be taught completely to you in English language. All the subjects. rather it be history, geography, polity, economy, science and tech, current affairs, ethics, internal security, international organizations and relations, everything. Okay? And the prices are starting at a very affordable price range, that is at 13,999. So prices are starting from 13,999. So you can use the code Alok Live that is flashing on your screen to get the benefits of these batches. And the batch is starting on 26th of March 2026. The batches are also available for 2026 and 2028 as well. Okay? So use the code Alok Live that is flashing on your screen. So with this, I'll stop my words for the day. See you guys tomorrow with the topic Jainism and the MCQs on Jainism. Till then, have a very nice day. Jai Hind. Bye-bye, everyone.